Hi, hello everyone. So that's the second week. So you have some stress from the first class, first video, first handout. But we're getting used, not only me, but you, so we're getting used to this teaching. Today I'll write something and I'll talk. But you have this handout here. The edit, actually the George Barnard, the law, actually writer of this book is not writing himself, but he collected some articles. So the edit, George Barnard, selected this definition. He said he like to get this definition is better than others. Actually, for him, leadership is mobilizing others toward a goal shared by the leader and follows. Actually, the Reverend Gary Will said this one. Some of you guys pick up this definition best among those definitions here. So, a leader is one who mobilizes, one who focuses in influencing people, a person who is goal-driven, someone who has an orientation in common. Here, in common says, share the idea, share the vision each other with those who rely upon him for leadership, and someone who has people willing to follow them. So, can you explain over these words in the above paragraphs? Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 important words here. The one is mobilize. Do you know what I mean? I read one book, How to Mobilize People. Actually, the right is the specialist on the volunteering in the state, Maureen Wilson. Okay, I remember Maureen Wilson. She learned how to mobilize people. So mobilize people is very important. The second concept is people. When you're doing ministry, so you need people. Without people, you can't do any ministry. Next one, goal-driven. Some people actually don't have any goal to pursue, but you as a leader has to have a clear goal and also the goal-oriented, goal-driven. So I'm saying ministry-driven in common, shared, I told you, follow. Leadership and following is very important relationship with each other. If you are leader, you have to get followers like Jesus. He was a leader and also he had a lot of followers, disciples. And what to say in terms of ministry, I told a couple of things here, keyword. How do you compare, how do you relate with this key concept to your ministry? Can you write up here? So I wrote here. Down here, Christian leader possesses these 8 elements. Number 1, sensing the call. If you truly have been called, you will have a sense of divine selection for the task. Well, you don't know in the beginning of any ministry, but later on you'll get, I have been called by God to do that. Maybe for me, for Alot, for Billy Graham and the World Evangelical Association in the state. Maybe he didn't know in the beginning stage, but through his ministry, he got the confidence. I am called by God. Number 2, undeniable inclination. Incline actually. True leaders are naturally inclined to lead. They like to do. They like to do something. 3, mind of a leader. A leader perceives and thinks differently from others. They see differently. They think differently. That's why you came to school. That's why you need to study. At classrooms, there are so many people who are learning from only experience. But as I know, we need two kinds of knowledge, not only from the society, but only from the classroom. So academic and practical field. So you need to put together. 4. Discernible influence. A true leader is one whose life bears the fruit of effective leadership. Okay, so you will see that you are influenced to some people. So you need to get some fruit, even small. So you need to get some accomplishment in your mind. Number 5, company leaders. People are most comfortable around others who are like themselves. If you are true leaders, other leaders will come around you. 6, external encouragement. One way of knowing you are called to be a leader of God's people is whether you receive affirmation. I'll talk about affirmation later. Actually, Dr. Melvin said, as you know, that he said, if we are going to successful in any ministry, we need 12 foundation blocks. Affirmation is one of them. You need to get some affirmation from other people, from me, from your pastor, from your principal. Internal strength is very important. Dr. Melvin said this is kind of integration. Surprisingly, few people have the internal strength to stand up for what is right. You need to stand up for what is right. I do too. We need to get strength to stand up for what is right. We call this courage. Encourage and courage. You need the courage. It's very important. 8, loving it. Leading people is really a joyful journey. When you are doing leading, when you are leading people, you will get joyful and accomplishment. So can you pick up 2, the most important element? Can you write here? So I made some notes at the second page. Actually, George Barna is a leader and the founder of a parachurch organization, Barna Research Group. George Barna is actually founder of Barna Research Group in the state. There are two kinds of ministry, I think, church ministry and parachurch ministry. Please remember, church ministry and parachurch ministry. Let's talk about these later, but here simply church and other organizations, seminary, mission center, missionary, whatever so on. So you have 2 options in front of you for the future when you graduate PIS. You have to select church ministry or parachurch ministry. Attention here, last one. Can you make a footnote at the bottom just I have done once? You need, I prefer you make some footnote. There are 2 kinds of footnote style, Chicago style or Harvard style. Harvard style is only calling Boston style. I like to say Chicago style and Boston style. Chicago style is the classic style, which is written at the bottom, as you know already. Every schools, every people are doing classical style. We call Chicago style, but they are dissertation. But Harvard style is to add in parentheses. You know the parentheses? Blank. At the original text directly. Others call this Boston style because Harvard is located at the Boston area, eastern part of USA. So Chicago style is the most familiar to the worldwide school. I assume most of seminaries in India adopt Chicago style, in Korea also, everywhere. But some schools prefer to get Boston style. If you look at some books, mostly Chicago style, they got the footnote, endnote in the bottom. Actually, bottom line is the footnote. But some put endnote at the end of books. I wrote one book, maybe you will get the book. Soon, I talk to a lot. I like to publish my book, maybe soon. Also, PIS might get Chicago style for now. If you need to read more on Chicago style, you'll get it downloaded from internet. When you see if you see the internet, research Chicago style of dissertations. So there are many articles on there. So can you read my handout and write up, think, and write up to me. Take care. Bye bye. Ciao.